And what is up guys, Jab32X here with another video, and this is going to be a Eurogamer Expo recap video. It's going to be quite quick because I did record this earlier and I had some audio problems, I apologise for that. But basically, on Saturday the 28th of September 2013, I attended the Eurogamer Expo at Earl's Court for about the 5th year running. I love this expo. It's rapidly becoming one of the most important and biggest expos in the United Kingdom. And this year didn't disappoint because, I mean, it's the arrival of the next generation of consoles. The event was so big this time, in fact, that it was held over both stories of Earl's Court, which is the first for the expo. And I genuinely really enjoyed it. But basically, I'm going to be splitting this quick video into 3 sections. Games that I liked, games that I didn't like so much or weren't impressed by, and the biggest surprise of the expo. Now, I didn't get to play every single game at the expo. I was only there for 1 day. By the way, if you bumped into me at the expo, hi. I hope I wasn't too much of a geek, but you get the idea. But yeah, basically out of the games that I played, these are the games that I'm going to be categorizing. So let's kick this off straight away. Games that I was impressed by, we'll go with Battlefield 4 straight away. Battlefield 4 was playable on the Xbox One. This is the first time this has happened in the United Kingdom. Now, I was a bit skeptical about the Xbox One, but it seems to be handling Battlefield 4 just fine. It was running at 60 frames per second on the new controller. I wasn't too keen on the new Xbox pad, by the way. I thought that was the one redeeming feature of the console at first, but upon playing it, it doesn't actually feel all that comfortable and well made. I'm not sure if that was because it was a Trade Expo version and not the release version. I'm not sure, but it didn't feel that great in the hand, to be honest. It contoured a bit too sharply and didn't feel all that comfortable after a long play session. We were playing for about 10 minutes, which for a Trade Expo session is actually quite a long time. Now, we were playing a new game mode called Onslaught, that's it. Sorry, my mind's gone. Where the 2 teams have to fight over 1 bomb on the map. Whoever picks up the bomb then places it at the enemy's base. And there's 2 objectives there. Kind of like reverse conquest, but, you know, both teams are going after the objective. It's a fun, quick game mode. The map size is smaller than usual, and it's a whole lot of fun. It was very fun. Now, I did notice that on the Xbox One, the game seemed to be running in 720p, upscaled to 1080p. It didn't look pixel perfect, as it were, but the game still looked very impressive. Frostbite 3 looked very impressive, and Battlefield 4 actually does a surprisingly good job of differentiating itself from its previous game, which is what I was most skeptical about when Battlefield 4 was first announced. It looked too much like Battlefield 3, but upon playing it, it feels like a completely different game, and I'm not just saying that to be like a plugging or selling it or whatever. It does actually feel different, and that's a good thing. It feels fun to play, and I will definitely be picking it up. I'll be checking out the beta as well. I'm downloading that right now, guys. My internet did not work yesterday, so I wasn't able to download anything. There's no NDA on it, so I will be doing videos, so stay tuned for that. Another game I was impressed by, Killzone Shadowfall. Yes, the PlayStation 4 was playable at the Expo as well, and I got to check out Killzone Shadowfall, and my god, the booth people, the managing whoever's playing the games, had to drag me out of the booth because I was drooling so much. Killzone Shadowfall looks to be something very special indeed. Although the hype for it isn't quite as fantastic as, say, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, or even Titanfall, Killzone Shadowfall looks to be one of the best release games, I think, in history. I mean, that's quite a big claim because, I mean, let's be honest, Super Mario 64 came out when the Nintendo 64 was released, but those are 2 completely different genres, alright? That's a pioneering game. Killzone Shadowfall is a modern first-person shooter, alright? When you compare the 2, Mario wins, obviously, but, I mean, it's just so polished and so fun to play. And it looks damn gorgeous. I mean, Crysis 3 Ultra on PC, I thought that was the best-looking game I've ever seen. But Shadowfall on the PlayStation 4, which, let's be honest, is a mid-range PC if we do it spec for spec, look damn fantastic. And if we can get that level of optimization on a PS4, which is now using PC hardware, I can only imagine what results we'll get on the PC. It's just, honestly, the shooting was smooth, the loadouts were good, the map was incredibly well designed, the environments were well put together, the game looked fantastic, the shooting was spot on. I just said that before, I know I'm rambling on, but honestly, Killzone Shadowfall is the game to get for PlayStation 4 right now. It really is. It was fantastic. Another game that I was really impressed by, Titanfall. I know I'm going through all the first-person shooters, guys, but as you know, that's my favourite genre. Titanfall was fantastic. We were playing on the Xbox One, I believe, and it was just so damn fun. I mean, this could be the next big thing in multiplayer gaming we're talking here. It's running on the Source engine, which is a bit strange, but it runs very smoothly, and it's been tweaked to look, quote, next-gen, unquote. I'm excited to check this one out for PC when it comes out. It's a Microsoft platform exclusive, but not an Xbox One exclusive. It's coming out to 360, Xbox One, and PC. And Titanfall, I mean, the shooting was smooth. The transitions between the level jumps, you know, where you can jump on the 3 tiers, was smoother than I expected. It was buttery smooth. I thought it was going to be rubbish, but it wasn't. It was fantastic, in fact. And honestly, the game played fantastically. The mechs were very smooth. And I just had it was like the ultimate dude bro game, but it's not Call of Duty, so you don't feel too guilty for playing it. It is made by the original developers of Call of Duty 4, but you know it seems like they've learned a lesson of past of abusing that series, and Titanfall actually looks to be something really special. So I will be checking it out when it comes out. Other games I was impressed by was Shadow Warrior, although that game has already come out. I did get to check it out, and it was very fun. Very entertaining. I will be picking it up once I have enough money for the game. Dragon's Prophet, I was surprised by. It was a free-to-play MMORPG with a sort of action targeting system and a pet system where you can capture dragons for your own. Graphically, it looks actually very pretty sound. Gameplay-wise, was really, really surprisingly fun. You got a lot of rolls and duck maneuvers in there before your stamina bar runs out, and as a result, fights feel quick and intense, and almost like you're playing Monster Hunter. Very good and very generous to the free player as well. Very much one that I will be downloading at some point in the future. Surgeon Simulator also made an appearance, but we all know what Surgeon Simulator is about. It's absolutely bloody hilarious. You should be playing it already if you're not. And Octodad is just, well, it's Octodad. You really need to bloody play that as well. I'm just going through the games that I played, guys. I think that was it. Like, that I was impressed by. Now on to the games that I was a little bit disappointed by, and the award for that, like first place, goes straight away to Bungie's Destiny, which turned up with a massive store only to play a giant, on a giant screen, a video of the E3 video that we've all seen 100,000 times before. It was a huge disappointment. People were expecting it to be playable, it wasn't playable. People were expecting some kind of conference about it, there was no conference about it. Instead, there was just a statue and a screen just showing the E3 trailer, and overall it was just a bit like, well, what's the point of you being here? You know, this is supposed to be a trade expo for the gamers. You know, produce something that's playable, at least, you know, to get them excited, because honestly, as gamers, we've probably all seen that E3 trailer about 100,000 times. Yes, I'm excited for Destiny, don't get me wrong. I'm still holding hopes that it comes out on PC, but you know, it was just a bit disappointing. Watch Dogs also disappointed. There was a huge queue for just essentially a few videos. Again, it wasn't playable. Just a tad disappointing because that game's actually pretty close to release now, and it's still not playable. It's a bit, come on, you know, give us something, because I honestly, Watch Dogs, I have been hyping about Watch Dogs for so long now. I absolutely love the concept. It blew me away when it was revealed last year. I want to play that game. I desperately want to play that game. Other disappointments or slight niggles that I had with the games were Dying Light. This is a sort of parkour zombie survival game by the creators of Dead Island, but published by a new publisher, Warner Brothers. Playing it looks exactly like Dead Island. I mean, the axe model looked exactly the same as the axe model in Dead Island. It's got the exact same stamina system. It has the exact same attack animations. It has the exact same dismemberment options. It has the exact same weapon customization features. The only difference is it appears to have the smart button from Brink. That is it. And even that wasn't executed too well. I managed to glitch through the wall several times. A few zombies that were over fences. I couldn't attack even with throwing axes. They simply disappeared in the air. And while the game tried to sort of convince you that it was a sort of free roaming environment, it was very hand-holdy in the way that it was doing it. And overall, I wasn't all that impressed by it. It was only a 3-minute demo. Yes, it ran smoothly, but demos usually do. I mean, the full release could be as buggy as any other Dead Island game. It's just a bit weird that Dead Island decided, not Dead Island, Deep Silver decided not to publish this title, because they really could have got away with calling it Dead Island 2, because it just looks like it's just Dead Island. You'll look at it and it will scream Dead Island at you, and it doesn't look to be any different. The parkour movement is simply a means to get away from the zombies. There's no real combat while you're parkouring. It's just a simple gimmicky mechanic, and overall, I don't think I'll be checking that game out anytime soon, despite the context of it being a zombie survival game. It's just not for me. And another one I was sort of disappointed by, and I know a few people are going to disagree with me on this, Elder Scrolls Online. I did get to play that at the expo, and for me, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be worth the monthly fees with microtransactions on top of it. This is the biggest problem I have with the game. Microtransactions is fine if it's a free-to-play game, but it's not a free-to-play game. You buy the box price, so that's about 50 quid, and then you pay monthly on top of that, which is £10. And then you pay microtransactions on top of that. It just doesn't seem. It seems like a very archaic way of making money off people. It's almost like Bethesda were so busy, or ZeniMax were so busy working on the game, they completely forgot that the MMO market has changed in the last year, with big subscription-based titles going free to play and enjoying a huge amount of success because of it. I mean, look at Terra Rising. That game has absolutely shot through the popularity since going free to play, and you know, it's honestly been the best move that the developers have made for that game since its release. It really shouldn't have been a subscription game anyway, but the amount of content offered for free players on that game is absolutely fantastic. Elder Scrolls Online, for me, the combat was typical Elder Scrolls, but graphical fidelity wise, it looked worse than Skyrim, and to me, it seems like it's going a step back a bit. Would I pay monthly just for the co-op element? I don't think I would. For me, Elder Scrolls has always been a bit of a sort of single-player lone wolf experience with the engaging story, and I know they're claiming to still translate that story across, but I'm not paying monthly with microtransactions on top of that and a box price on top of that to find out if their claims are true. It just isn't for me. On to the biggest surprises of the year was the Virgin booth. The Virgin Media booth had a playable copy of Doom 1 that was playable via a piano. Yes, you heard me right. It's kind of like Type of the Dead. You know Type of the Dead, where the guns were replaced by a typing mechanic. You have to type in the words to kill the zombies. Instead, on this, you have to play certain notes to get the character to move and shoot, leading to some hilarious instances where if you see a cyber demon, you usually get this jingle. You know, you get the joke. Cyber demons are fucking scary. Other surprises include Dragon's Prophet, as I mentioned earlier. Surprised by how well that game was. Lego Marvel Heroes was actually very fun to play. I did enjoy playing that. I felt like a kid again playing that. But it seems to go back to its roots of co-op gameplay, and because of the superheroes available, you now have very interesting gameplay mechanics in regards to other Lego games. I felt that the Lego series kind of lost its way after Lego Star Wars because the Force powers were missing, and it just felt like an extra layer of gameplay had been lost there, because, I mean, let's be honest, Lego games are very simplistic in gameplay, and it needs all the help it can get. Marvel Superheroes actually looks very fun indeed. Other surprises were Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD. I honestly wasn't expecting this to be at the Expo, so to see it was great. And the HD update they've done to it actually looks marvelous. It does look really good. The game has obviously aged very well, and it's one of my all-time Final Fantasy games. There was no playable Vita version though, which was a bit of a concern, but the PS3 version seems to run very well. Last surprise, I suppose, for the Expo was Killzone Mercenary for the PS Vita. There was some PS Vita games there, and Killzone Mercenary was one of them. I got to play a team deathmatch with some of the developers there, or some of the guys running the booth. And I was honestly taken aback. I mean, there's a lot of talk saying that Android and iOS will be taking over the handheld market, and that the Vita has become completely irrelevant, and that's why it's not selling. It's absolute bullcrap. I mean, Killzone Mercenary is basically Killzone 3 scaled back a little bit, running at 30 frames per second on a handheld. It looks absolutely stunning for a handheld game, and the OLED screen makes it look even better. I mean, despite the slight blurriness of the textures on the guns because of the scaling back of the engine, you could stick this on a TV and you would think you're playing a PS3 game. Even if it's an early release PS3 game, you'd still think you'd be playing a PS3 game. That is how powerful the PS Vita can be when developers such as Gorilla Cambridge actually stick at it and try to make something absolutely fantastic. And the gameplay was very smooth, very fun. The sprint button was intuitive. The controls didn't feel overly strained or contrived despite the limited button use on the PS Vita, for example. The sticks don't click in, but the analog sticks don't click in, and they feel quite limited in movement, but the game managed to work around that while incorporating Killzone's sort of shooting style. It's a bit slow-paced and sluggish, but it's a deliberate slow-paced and sluggishness, but they've actually tightened up the Killzone Mercenary, and it actually feels a little bit quicker. Overall, I was very impressed by it, and it seems to be the Vita's killer app at the moment, and it might actually be the reason why I save up for a PS Vita, because I really enjoy playing it. It was very fun, very addictive. I heard the campaign's a bit short, but multiplayer-wise, the game mode we were playing was fantastic. It was sort of like team deathmatch, but then during a match, something would happen which would drag all the players into one area, such as an interrogation or a flag capture to get you some more valor points or points in the game or XP. And overall, it was just very fun to play, and I was pleasantly surprised actually by how good it was. So yeah, that was basically my recap of the Eurogamer Expo. There was loads of stuff there, such as the indie booth section. I loved the indie booth section. I just couldn't pick up a title out of all of the great games that were there. That I was most impressed by. Hotline Miami 2 was fantastic. The retro game section was absolutely glorious. I mean, they had a screen there playing a 4-player split-screen copy of Time Splitters 2 on the PS2. I actually spent a good half an hour on that, playing with strangers, having a great time. That's not kind of the reason why you turn up to an expo to play the old games, but it was still really fun, and I just love that kind of dedication by people. Whoever's managed to restore those copies of Street Fighter 2 for the SNES, you are a genius. I had so much fun playing that with a passerby, and the Eurogamer Expo this year was a great success, I feel, because this is a weird subject, I suppose, but they actually banned booth babes this year, because last year there was a lot of them. And this year, it meant that people had, the companies and booths had to do something quite inventive and fun to get people to buy their stuff. So Scan had gaming tournaments, Razer had gaming tournaments, and were giving out free stuff. Total Beach were giving out free stuff. It just felt like a better environment. And honestly, I love this expo this year. Next year, I'm going to try and make it for the whole 4 days, plus the after parties, because I've heard some crazy stories about those. And, thanks for bumping into me at the expo. As I said, if I go for the 4 days, there's more chances that you'll be able to check, see me, and also it means that I can view the developer conferences more, because I didn't get to see everything in one day. My name's been Jack32X. Subscribe if you like these videos. More videos will be coming soon. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry that there's only stock footage involved in the video, but of course, because I went to the expo on my own this year, sadly, I wasn't able to record anything, because obviously I was on my own. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and stuff like that. Tune in this week for Battlefield 4 beta footage, as well as a couple of other parody videos. You can check out my Jenna Marbles parody video there. It's got quite a few dislikes because people disagree with the fact that I was kind of laughing that a channel temporarily got shut down, but whatever. It's an M. Bison joke, get over it. Yeah, basically take care, guys, and keep on gaming.